There's been an exciting new trailer and posters for the Super Mario movie, which is coming out very soon. But the question is, did they get each character right or wrong?
Yes, indeed. Do these characters work for Mario?
That's the question. Now, first we're going to take a look here at the poster for the big man himself, Super Mario. And as you can see there, I think they've done a pretty good job.
So he's looking a bit fierce there, but then he is fierce, I suppose.
Well, I think this is because of a trend, particularly in America, to depict characters as being sort of angry, getting on with the job, no messing around, no nonsense, whereas they're not necessarily like that in the actual game or movie itself. So I think that's what we're seeing going on here with Mario.
Yes, indeed, yeah. And of course his look, yes, he's pretty good. But does his character work in the film in terms of his voice, etc., so forth?
Very good question. Now, of course, he's being voiced, as everybody knows, by Chris Pratt instead of Charles Martinet. Now, if you ask me, if I'm being brutally honest here, his new voice, it doesn't really work that well. Okay, it doesn't sound exactly like Mario. At the end of the trailer, if you listen there, Mario gave a little woohoo, just in a sort of a Charles Martinet-style voice, which did work. But of course, overall, he's got this stereotypical sort of American accent going on in most of the film, which I'm not sure if I can get on board with it.
Yes, and also he seems to be a bit of a bungler sort of thing, doesn't he?
A bungler? Well, that's quite right. From what I was seeing in the trailer, he was acting rather inept, if you ask me, almost sort of Luigi-like at points, as opposed to his bold, confident, capable persona in the video games. In the movie here, he seems to be a bit of, well, I think the word is bungler. That's all I can think of to describe it.
Yes, he's having a go, I think. You know, he's a bit of gusto and things that you expect from Mario, but perhaps bungling along the way.
That's right, which is strange if you ask me. I mean, we saw scenes there of him getting beaten up by Donkey Kong, failing on a donut lift, etc. and so forth, disappointing the princess. It doesn't really seem like the carefully cultivated personality Nintendo have given him over the last 35, 40 years of being this brave, capable, fearless hero. He's just not the same here in the movie.
Yes, indeed, yeah. I mean, so, yeah, we like the way he looks, he's rather good, but we don't think much of his voice.
I don't really think I can reconcile that voice to the character, in my opinion. Now, that's Mario. Let's move on to his brother, Luigi. Now, the poster for Luigi, I think just looks like Luigi, old chap. This is really the Green Man himself, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, yes. So Luigi, I think everyone would agree. Yes, that's Luigi. That's what he looks like. That's his character.
Yes.
That's the sort of thing he does, and that's how you perceive him to be. So yes, I think that certainly does work. But what about his character inside the actual movie?
Well, indeed, he's a bit of a scaredy cat, isn't he? So we're seeing that here in the poster, which is perfectly depicted there. His character model looking very nice indeed. And if you ask me, the scene there with Bowser and Luigi that we saw in the trailer, it was just perfect, old chap, in my opinion. Luigi's character, the way he was coming across to Bowser, a bit scared but trying his best to be confident despite being in Bowser's clutches. I think he really was setting the part there, old boy.
Yes, I think so, yes. It certainly does seem to be working for Luigi there. And his voice, I think, was quite good as well, don't you think?
I think that certainly the voice actor has done a very good job as Luigi, although it doesn't sound, oh, Mario, let's go get pizza. It's not quite like that, but it matches him. What can I say? Chris Pratt's voice doesn't really match Mario. Luigi's voice, however, does match him, despite it not being Charles Martinet. So it just goes to show, if you get the right sort of sound for the character that matches the model you see on the screen, it doesn't necessarily have to be the original VA, as long as it works.
I suppose because they're trying to market to the wider masses, thinking, well, what about everybody, not just Mario fans? But the thing is, there are a lot of Mario fans.
Who doesn't know who Mario is?
Exactly, there's a lot of Mario fans, and a lot of them are going to go and watch this.
Yes.
Because they are Mario fans, and I don't think they're necessarily going to like everything about it.
Well, I certainly don't have any problems with Luigi's appearance as a Mario fan.
No, like
it's Mario's appearance I've got more question marks about.
Yeah.
Let's move on, however, to the King of the Koopas himself, Bowser. Now, Bowser's poster there, looking very much like the big man, I have to say. This is very Bowser, isn't it?
Yes, certainly is, yes. I mean, this is how Bowser looks. This is how you expect him to look. And indeed, his character in the game, if I may say, is working for me. I like the way he sounds. I like his attitude.
Yes.
It's rather good, I think. It's rather fun.
His character in the film, indeed, as voiced by Jack...
In the film, I mean, yes.
As voiced by Jack Black, he's done a jolly good job as the voice of Bowser. Once again, he doesn't sound exactly like he does in the games, but similar to Luigi there, his appearance is very satisfactory. It really sells the character. He sounds fearsome. He sounds just like Mario's arch rival. This is exactly how Bowser should look and sound.
Yes, he certainly passes.
Certainly a pass for Bowser there. Now we're going to move on to his main love interest. That is, of course, Princess Peach. Now, The two words come to mind about this appearance, Bertie, for Princess Peach. They are, oh dear. That's what I can think of,
Yes,
really.
I mean, just looking at it there, I mean, there she is. There's our beloved Peach. But, I mean, sort of looking at her now, she's looking a bit sinister, I think, with those eyes, don't you think?
I don't really know what they were thinking when they put this out. That's all I can say. She doesn't really look like she does in the games.
A bit weird.
The face is actually a little bit uncanny. It's sort of staring at me through the screen right now, and I don't like it, to be honest. It has these... Well, it just doesn't work. Let's leave it at that.
We didn't like it, no.
The crown, yes, the crown is too ornate and realistic. It doesn't seem... It just seems off, you know?
Yes.
The crown is supposed to be simple. They've given it all these ornate sort of details and things, and it just looks way too over-detailed, in my opinion. The hair looks good. That looks fine. Her earrings are fine. The material on her dress is fine. But the face, no. That looks almost sinister. It just doesn't work.
Now, I don't know why they've done this, because these chaps are pretty clever at making sort of characters and things. They know what they do with artwork. But for some reason, she doesn't look like she should look.
Well, I think this is mainly illumination behind the depictions of the models here. The movie studio itself doesn't seem to have really captured her personality. Now, also, if you look at her face more closely there, you can see her eyebrows are in a slight frown. Now, you may think this is strange for the dainty Princess Peach, but of course, one look at the trailer and you can quickly see why she's got this stern expression, because her appearance in the trailer, if you ask me, is totally out of character.
I mean, for Mario players and gamers who've been playing Mario for years, everyone knows that Peach is the sort of, dainty, sort of quaint, damsel in distress, sort of very feminine and very, what's the word?
Ladylike.
Ladylike, yes indeed. Lady that needs to be rescued by Mario and is in a rather lot of trouble, help me Mario, and all this sort of thing,
Exactly.
And of course, but we don't really see this in the actual movie, do we?
Well, the depiction in the trailer seems to present her as very assertive, bold, and stony voiced. That's the
Yes.
only way to describe it. It's certainly at odds with everything she's done in the past 30 to 40 years in the series. She's always been depicted as, help me Mario, or this kind of thing. And as Bertie says there, a princess or a damsel needing to be rescued, apart from one appearance in Super Princess Peach, but we shan't count that. Overall, she requires Mario's help. She's very feminine, very delicate. In the movie, she's the exact opposite. She's acting more like a sort of a more stern version of Princess Daisy in the movie. She's very much taking charge. She seems to be the one basically that's bossing everyone else around. She's certainly not delicate or how we'd expect her from the games.
Yes, it seems to be, yes, in some places almost taking Mario's part for a bit. Trying to...
Yeah.
She's the one making the decisions, she's the one, we're going to do this, we're going to get them. Whereas normally in the games, that's what Mario does, and she sort of says, please rescue me. So, has she been Hollywoodized?
A bit Hollywoodized, perhaps. Hollywoodified, if you will. Yes, I can't really get on board with this depiction either. So, I mean, let's recap where we are so far. Mario, I have to give that a no, a thumbs down. Luigi, a big thumbs up. Yes, great. Bowser, brilliant. A brilliant depiction there. Peach, a no. So, let's move on now to the depiction of her most loyal retainer, Toad.
Yes, Toady.
The man himself. Look at that poster. That's perfect, isn't it, old chap?
Yes, indeed, yes. So Toad, that is certainly Toad. Yes, Toad, he looks like Toad, he feels like Toad, and I think in the movie he sounds like, well, he sort of counts as like Toad anyway.
Well, I mean, he does. He looks and sounds like Toad. That's the most important thing. Now, in the trailer there, he's depicted as a little bit wacky, I think, but that kind of does fit his personality, so I can't really complain too much. Certain parts of the trailer were wacky, as I say, but in Toad's case, it does work because he's like that in the games, isn't it?
No, certainly, yes, yeah. So we've got quite like Toad. I think he's working,
Yeah.
and they've got him right.
And we move on, lastly on our list. After giving Toad a thumbs up, we come along to Donkey Kong. It's the main monkey. What's going on in this poster?
What is that?
What's
face?
that? What's going on here?
What is that face? I mean, Johnny Bravo?
It might
who is
be.
that?
Well,
not
yeah.
sure. No, maybe not. But not quite sure about what's happened to him.
I think what's gone wrong here is they've tried to make him too humanoid, if you will. They've sort of adjusted his facial proportions, I suppose, to make them less exaggerated than before, I guess. And now he just doesn't really look like Donkey Kong at all. I mean, even his torso seems to be rather slim there. He hasn't been on a diet, has he, old chap? Been skipping his weight training? I hope not.
Yes, he could have been cutting down on the bananas there, looking at his actual torso, as you say.
Yeah,
but he looks rather muscular up the top half. But nevertheless, his face doesn't seem to be in true keeping with the character of Donkey Kong, I don't think.
No.
But in the game, yes, he was getting on with Mario and being rather bold like Donkey Kong is, I suppose.
Well, yes, his depiction in the trailer, you mean there, of course, beating up poor old Mario. Yes, I agree, that depiction did indeed fit his character rather well. The main problem I have with him is just that face. I mean, it's like Princess Peach's face. It's almost somewhat uncanny. Not quite as bad as Peach's one, but it's not quite there for DK, I feel.
Well, I think, as we said, Hollywoodized, I think, again. I think, for whatever reason. Maybe he's going to work in the movie, yes.
I can't give that one a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I think that's sort of a thumbs sideways.
It's on the fence.
I can't really decide. So, overall, let's see what we've got here. We've got Mario with a thumbs down, sadly. Luigi with a big thumbs up. Bowser, thumbs up. Peach, no, that's a thumbs down. Toad is a thumbs up. And Donkey Kong, undecided. So, overall, we're doing not too bad here. We're doing better than average, that's for sure. Yeah. But some of those depictions do need to be adjusted, if you ask me. Particularly Princess Peach. She's the main problem here, I think, in the film. There was also a small cameo there of Cranky Kong in the arena fight scene with Donkey Kong, as you may have seen. He looked fine to me. And the Koopas and the Goombas, etc., the minions of Bowser, if you will, they looked good as well. Overall, the trailer does feel rather good. It's just, again, the characters there of Princess Peach and Mario, if you ask me, they're letting it down a bit.
Yes, indeed. I mean, tell us what you think in the comments.
Yes.
I mean, is this sort of film you're going to watch? I think a lot of fans are going to go and watch this film.
Oh, yes.
Because they're going to be inquisitive, they want to know what they've done with it, they're going to want to comment on it.
Yes.
So I don't think that what they're showing here is going to keep people away from the movie. I think they're going to go and watch it.
Yes.
But I think the comments we're saying here probably are fair for most Mario fans.
I mean, this is coming from purely a perspective of being a Mario fan, and what we'd expect to see from the movie. The trailer doesn't fully line up with those expectations in all areas. In some areas, they've absolutely got it right, though. Like with the Bowser and Luigi scene, that was perfect. I enjoyed that a lot. So, yes, we're going to have to see where this goes, fellows. We're going to have to see how the final movie turns out. But so far, there's our thoughts. Again, let us know what your comments are in the comments section. This has indeed been GameChap and Bertie, bringing you a rather interesting analysis of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. We look forward to seeing you once more in the next exciting outing. Until then.